If I could do this every day, I would. Hey, what's up, folks? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me. And as you can tell, I already got that tent set up. I already threw the blankets in there. And I'm going to be spending the night in the beautiful mountains of Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Now, this is a solo trip. Sadly, Cuervo could not join me. But I just wanted to unwind for a little bit. Just decompress from the stresses of everyday life. As of the time of filming this video, it is November. So the holiday season is in full swing, so we have a lot of gear reviews. A lot of those videos are coming this way. In fact, we started a few weeks back. I gotta admit, gear reviews can be fun, but I can get pretty sick of them pretty quickly. If you notice, I rarely do them back to back. It's very rare that I do gear reviews continuously. I much rather be doing this kind of stuff. You know, enjoying nature, exploring, living in the moment. That's the kind of video that I'm more into. So I need breaks in between. So think of this as a little moment for me to catch my breath and just once again decompress and enjoy a good campfire meal, enjoy the call of the elk and the stars and all that good stuff. And kill two birds with one stone. Not only do I get to relax, but at the same time, if I am testing a lot of outdoor gear, then what better way to test than to actually be in the great outdoors, right? So not only am I going to be relaxing, but you'll see throughout this video a lot of gear that is currently being tested. I did bring 2 new flashlights, a backpack, and 2 knives. So a lot of stuff throughout the video that you'll see dispersed being used. And if you are watching and sadly you cannot get outdoors for whatever reason due to health reasons, responsibilities, a hectic job schedule, whatever the case may be, then join me here in spirit. You know, get yourself a drink, pull up a chair, and join me here. We'll have a good time. So thank you for joining me as always. Let's get to it. So evening approaches. I'm about to start getting that fire going because I am getting pretty hungry and it is getting pretty chilly. A brief tour of the campsite though is this is going to be my home for the next day. It's the Mako 3-person tent. I have a review on this if you want to check it out. I'll place it up here. And I'm sure you've seen it in other camping trip videos. If you've seen any Junkyard Fox camping trip videos, this has been used in like 3 of them. I have used this in a hailstorm, in rain, in summer heat, in snow. I love it. It's very durable. It's spacious. I really enjoy it. I love the colors and everything. So, like I said, this is very spacious. Normally, I tend to stick to my my red tent, but this one's bigger. All right, so a brief tour of my little home. It's going to get pretty chilly tonight, and I'm already a person who's cold already. I'm going to look at my hands. I already had to put on gloves. But I think we're dropping to about 16 degrees. In the desert, that's pretty damn cold. So I do have 3 wool blankets, a sleeping bag, a chibi blanket underneath, 3 sleeping pads, and 2 pillows. And yeah, I use that, you know those pillows that you use when you fly? So that way you can take a nap during flights. I've been using that lately. It works just fine. So yeah, I'm hoping to get nice and warm in here. Of course, I have my backpack over there that has like all my changes of clothes, my thermals to change into later. Hygienic stuff, you know, my mouthwash and all that. Deodorant. And then over here is the first sneak peek of a Roaring Fire sling bag. So I decided to get out of my comfort zone, you know, because I normally use haversacks, but I left the haversack at home and I've been testing this out for the last couple of weeks. I really like it. I don't know if it's gonna, change me, and I'm gonna leave the haversack at home from now on. But I really like this pack. It's really cool. And you see a couple of knives, little peeks of the other knives that I am testing. So you'll see all this later on, but that's all my gear. So my implements of making fire, all that stuff, all the stuff that would normally go in my EDC, it's in there. So here we go, a New York strip steak, mac and cheese with the green chili on the side. And of course I got me a Colorado Kool-Aid to cool off. And this is one of the knives that I'm currently testing. This is the BK62 Campfire. So far it's doing a phenomenal job, and this is gonna be my steak knife for tonight. So yeah, I was overdue for some good old-fashioned campfire cooking. Oh yeah. Hot down. Cheers, everyone. So 10 minutes later, this is what's left of the plate. Just a couple of bones and the end of the green chili. I was voracious. I was very hungry. It was like a 3-hour drive to get over here. But yeah, the food was delicious. I'm really digging this knife, by the way. You know me, I'm a sucker for old world knives, so a Campfire is right up my alley. This one has a thin handle, but surprisingly, it is not uncomfortable. It's a great knife. I'm really liking it. With that being said, I'm gonna just relax at this point and finish up the last of my tall boys. I only brought 4, just enough to get a buzz, but nothing to get too wild. And then I stoked up the fire because it is getting pretty chilly now. So it is sunset, and just take a look at just how absolutely beautiful the evening is. All those purples and pinks. I mean, I'm sure watching through video, it doesn't do it justice of just how it looks in person. It's just so majestic, so peaceful, you know? So the sun has set, it is nighttime now, and it is so beautiful right now. It's so relaxing. Of course, I have a full belly, finally got to eat my dinner. I was starving. And then now it's getting pretty chilly, but it's not too bad. It's not where I'm uncomfortable. Of course, I also brought my wool coat, my wool gloves. I even brought a wool hat. So, of course, this is my cotton hat. This is my Brixton one that I normally carry. But I did bring my Outback Trading Company wool hat. So in case if it gets pretty cold, I'll switch them out. I just didn't use it earlier because that hat, the wool hat, it gets hot extremely fast. So I'm saving it for the coldest of the evening. But who knows? If it's not that cold, I'll just keep this one. And yeah, just relaxing, just enjoying the evening. It's so beautiful out here. So I ended up switching out the hat. It's not actually that cold, but I just realized that this wool hat has never really seen any true action. It has never been like an overnighter. I've taken it out for like simple day hikes and stuff, but nothing like this. So it's about time we started getting some miles on it. But yeah, it's really pretty. It's the Outback Trading Company Cooper River hat. It's wool, so it's very warm. So I'm nice and comfortable. And of course, as you can tell, the fire is nice and strong. And check out the moon behind me. It's really bright tonight. I'll get a better picture later, but it's super bright. Really nice. I've been awake since 3 a.m., so I'm pretty beat. And it is getting pretty cold. As of right now, it's about 32 degrees. I just looked up the forecast. It's going to drop to about 23 degrees tonight. I know somebody in Minnesota is going to scoff at that, but me being a desert dweller, it is pretty chilly. So that sleeping bag with all those wool blankets is starting to look pretty damn good right now. So yeah, just going to enjoy the fire for another 10-15 minutes and just kind of like just pee the rest of the beer out before I head into the tent because I want to just hunker down and just go to bed. Okay, so I am inside the tent now, and it is so much warmer in here. The wind started picking up as the night progressed, and they're carrying some chill, man. You can feel the cold. So, one, I was already tired. Like I said, I've been up since 3 in the morning. I was having coffee at like 3:15, and I was like, I should go camping today. So it was like a spur of the moment thing. Had I planned it, I probably would have tried to sleep a little bit longer. But, you know, it happens, and it's been a great day. But yeah, I am tired, and I am pretty cold. Once again, it's going to drop to about 23 degrees. That's what the forecast says. I know some people are not going to think that's a lot, but for, you know, living in the American Southwest, it is pretty chilly. So I'm going to just bundle up in these blankets. So it's bedtime. As you can see, I have my little sleeping hat to stay warm. I did change underneath as well. I did add some thermal underwear. So I have a thermal shirt beneath my flannel shirt. And then I'm rocking these, the thermal pants. That's right, ladies. We know these drive you crazy. They're like men's lingerie. But yeah, I'm gonna just try to stay warm. I'm very tired. Now I get cold very fast, so you know, all this wool and all that stuff, I might still get cold. So I do have some of these hot hands. I might just preemptive action and just turn them on now and just throw them, especially at the bottom where my feet are, because my feet get cold all the damn time. So I'm probably just gonna do that now and just get bundled up. Check out all this warmth. Snug as a bug. So the only thing I'm missing is my cat Collie. The chubby little thing keeps me warm. But yeah, I'm good to go, guys. I'm very tired. So looking forward to get a good night's sleep, nice and cozy. And then in the morning, wake up. I'm looking forward to that nice hot cup of coffee and some chilaquiles for breakfast. So y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining me. So I'm washing up, cleaning out my mouth and face really quick when I noticed somebody's shoe is here. That's interesting. I'm assuming some people, that whoever was camping here, they just forgot it. Or maybe raccoons got a hold of their stuff, because raccoons there's a lot of them in this area. They'll steal your stuff. But yeah, crazy. All right, let's get some coffee going. Cheers, everyone. That was a good cup of coffee. I'll admit, I was a little bit nervous because normally the coffee making is Cuervo's department. That guy can make a mean cup of coffee. So since I'm solo, I had to do that plus the camera work, and it had me a little bit nervous, but it actually came out pretty damn good, and that's what I needed. I just need something warm to warm me up from the inside, give me a little bit of caffeine for energy before I start cooking breakfast. And check out this cup, by the way. We have a brand new merch cup. Of course, it's our logo. Go outside and get your boots dirty. And those are actually my boots. Those are actually the boots that I use in videos. You can see the little boot knife and the cordage. Yeah, I took an image of them. I took a picture, and then I sent them to the graphic artist, and then he was able to translate them to make a graphic for shirts and all that stuff. So if you're so inclined to help support this channel and get yourself a nice cup of coffee, a nice cup for coffee, then I'll have the link down below where you can purchase this baby right here. Incredible stuff. Damn it. Well, folks, it is breakfast time. So I got my chilaquiles, my egg, and I did save one last cup of coffee for breakfast. This is what life's about. If I could do this every day, I would. This is some good stuff right here. So it's about time that I start packing it on up. I have a 3-hour drive to get back home. I got to get ready because I work for the next couple of days at my day job, so might as well start getting to it. Before I leave, I'm going to show you guys the gear that I've been using in this trip. So some of them you've already seen. You saw this beauty right here, the Becker Campfire. It's very historically accurate to the original Campfire. And yeah, it's really awesome. It really is. You'll see this review in about 2 weeks from now. I just want to test it out a little bit more. Just a little summary right now. It's one hell of a slicer. It's a great slicer. It's a great everyday carry. Drawbacks are the spine is not 90 degrees. Now keep in mind, Campfire wasn't running around using ferro rods back in the day, right? So of course he didn't have that. It's not really a big deal, honestly. Let's face it, all of us have multiple blades on us, so if one can't strike us ferro rods, another one can. So it's not a big deal. It's also kind of thin. I think that's going to be a very big deciding point for a lot of people if they like this or they want to try this out or not. Because it is thin, but it's not too bad. But at the same time, I can definitely imagine some people not being comfortable with that. The sheath's pretty cool. Yeah, I really dig the sheath. You know, I'm a sucker for leather sheaths. So far, so good. I'm really liking this one. Oh, and then this one, by the way, big shout out to Sam Herrera. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He's a Junkyard Fox viewer. This is his. He mailed it to me so I could test it out. So what he did also is he replaced the original handle scales that were wooden with these micarta ones, natural micarta. And of course, they're going to add with a little bit of durability and grip. So really cool. The other knife is the Acta Nonverba P200. This knife, I don't know. The jury's still out, but it's not looking good, at least for me. In terms of what I like doing, it's not a particularly good slicer. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it gets a little chunky towards the end. So it's not a good slicer, and I cook a lot. So this isn't really working very well in terms of that. This one also does not have a 90-degree spine. I don't think any other knives do. So, you know, if you consider this something like a survival knife or something, I think that, yeah, I don't really see that working. And I'm not a big fan of the whole orange thing. Just in terms of aesthetics, I think it's ugly. I could see that, you know, this going in a bug out bag. But once again, I don't know. If I'm going to be having a knife in my bug out bag, I want something that could do all kinds of things. It's great for skinning. It's great for slicing, striking ferro rods. And this ain't it. Other than that, though, it's high quality. It came with 2 sheaths, really nice sheaths. It feels pretty good in the hand. I like the little grip. There's like a little texture. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Decent little knife, but I'm not sure who this knife is for. It's not for bushcrafters. It's not for hunters. It's not for, you know, people that like cooking or camping. The best I can imagine is for tactical folks. I'm not a tactical guy, so I don't know. So I can imagine it for that. But that's about it. Other than that, I do have 2 flashlights. I didn't show them last night. I should have shown them last night when I was hanging out in the evening, but, you know, I started having some beers and hanging, like, just relaxing, and I kind of slacked it there. But here's one from Army Tech, the Army Tech Wizard Pro, C2 Pro. This thing is really awesome, really awesome. So it's a great little light, and then you can also add this as a headlamp, and I did bring the headlamp, but it's put away, the little headband. But yeah, really cool. I really like the difference. You know, the design is a little bit different from what you're used to seeing from like Olight and Nightcore and all that. So so far so good. I'm liking this one. And then I have a Through Night, the Catapult Mini. I'm late to the game. Of course, I'm sure every gear reviewer has already made a video on this. like I said, I'm not particularly a gear reviewer. I dabble in it once in a while, but it's not something I want to do continuously. So I waited towards these months to, because they've been asking me for months to test it out, and I was like, just wait until I'm done with the hunting trips and the foraging and all that stuff. So now that really there's not a lot to do outdoors in terms of like hunting and gathering and stuff, that's when I'm have more time to test gear. So far so good. Yeah, this thing is not meant to be a white light. It shoots far. It's like a laser. So I could definitely see this being used like a prison guard, for example, something like that. But it's pretty cool. I like that it's different. I definitely didn't want to do another EDC light because I've done many of those and it just gets redundant. So I wanted to do, you know, things that are different. So yeah, expect those reviews coming up pretty soon. So that's about it for me, folks. I've already packed on everything onto the truck. I've already turned off the fire. I'm ready to make that long journey home. But before I leave, I want to show you guys something really awesome. Check out my shirt. Oh yeah, you've been asking for years and we finally got around to doing so. We've added our slogan onto some shirts. Not only that, but you see our boots, and that's an actual image of my boots. You could see the boot knife, the cordage, you could see all the scuffs and scrapes from years of adventures, guys. So we have several shirts with this available if you want to purchase that. Not only that, but of course you saw earlier, we have a coffee cup and even some stickers. So if you want to help support this channel so we can keep getting out here and having adventures and sharing them with you, then, you know, I'll have the link down below so you can go ahead and purchase it from our merch store. That goes a long way to helping us out, guys, and you get to look really awesome. So thank you all so much, guys. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, requests for a next solo adventure, like in the desert, in the snow, something like that. And yeah, I'll try to work that in. So once again, thank you all for joining me, and don't forget,